lesson today. This is mathematics class, okay? In this mathematics class, we are going to be looking at differentiation, and we are going to be taking the part 1 of differentiation. Now, if differentiation is your problem, and subscribe to this channel for detailed analysis on differentiation. Now, what does the word differentiation means? Differentiation means the change of one quantity with respect to the other quantity. Most times in differential problem, we usually encounter y and x, and that's why most of the symbols in differentiation is usually dy over dx, meaning change in y with respect to what? X. And in today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the first part of differentiation, which is called general principle differentiation. Now, how do I differentiate any equation at all? Watch this. If I have y equals to x raised to the power of n, for instance, say this is my question, how do I differentiate it? Now, the way of differentiating this one is applicable to every areas of differentiation. So how do I differentiate it? Very easy. First of all, we have y and x. So the differential value is called dy over dx. And how do we do it? Very easy. Use this n to multiply the x. So you have nx. Then you reduce the power of x by 1, which is this n. So you have n minus 1. That's how to differentiate. Use the power to multiply the number. Then you remove 1 from the number. How do we do it? For instance, let me give you a question. E.g., differentiate the following. Differentiate the following with respect to x. Differentiate the following with respect to x. Number 1, 8x cubed. Number 2, 12x squared. Number 3, 1 over 4x. Number 4, x raised to the power of 5. Number 6, 1 over 3x cubed. For instance, I'm going to differentiate this. Very easy. The first one says y is 8x cubed. How we go use differentiator? Very easy. Dy over dx. Please learn this quickly. I go use 3 to multiply the number. If I use 3 multiply 8, it will give me 24. So I'm going to get 3 times 8, 24. Then I remove 1 from the power of x. It becomes 24x waiting squared. That's the answer. Very easy. Number 2, if I have y equals to, watch this, 12x squared. This is 12x squared. If I have 12x squared, my dy over dx, watch the way I want to do it. I'm going to use this 2 to multiply this guy, and that will give us 2 times 12, 24. The power of x here is 2, I'll remove 1. Now 24x raised to the power 1. The same thing as 24 waiting x. That's the answer. Number 3, if I have y equals to 1 over 4x, and I'm to differentiate them, see dy over dx. Watch carefully. The power of this x here is 1. So if I use 1 times 1 over 4, I will still get 1 over 4. So I have 1 over 4. Now, this s now is raised to power 1 before. If I remove 1, it will become x raised to the power of waiting 0. That is, s over 0 is equals to 1. So our answer will still be 1 over 4. So whenever you have 1 over 4x, it will give you 1 over 4. If I even get 12x now, I differentiate them, it will give me 12. If I have 4x, it will give me 4. If I even have 1 over 3x, it will give me 1 over 3. Even if I have 1x, it will give me 1. So whenever you have just like this, it gives you the number, only the number. From the illustration given now, you have seen that I have used 1 to times it. I got the same number. Removing 1 from the power, we make the power to become 0. And the power raised by 0 is 1. Times the number gives you the same number. So, the next one says, y is x raised to the power of 5. X raised to the power of 5. How do I do it? Very easy. Dy over dx, see 5 times x will give us 5x. Remove 1 here, raised to the power of 4. That's the answer. Watch this. Number 6, y is equals to 1 over 3x cubed. See, 1 over 3x cubed. I'm going to use 3 to multiply. So I'll use 3, okay? I have dy over dx. Let's do it quickly. I'll use 3 to multiply, so I have 3 times the number 1 over 3. Then I'll remove 1 from this power so that it becomes like this. Because you have 3, remove 1, it becomes 2. So this cancels this, our answer becomes x squared. That's the answer. Very easy. Very easy. So when differentiating, use the power of the x or the unknown variable under consideration to multiply the number. Then you remove 1 from the power. You get the answer. Okay? Now, what about the derivative of a constant? If I want to differentiate a constant, what is a constant? A constant is a number with no unknown variable. Okay? Let's differentiate the constant. For instance, if a constant, derivative of a constant, if y is equals to 7, this guy na constant, e no get x, so dy over dx will give us 0. If y is equals to 9, even though you have minus 1, 9, dy over dx is equals to 0. So it should be noted that the derivative of a constant is equals to 0. Now, on this general principle differentiation, I'm going to drop 3 Jamb questions on this so that we'll differentiate it together. Okay? Now, let's take the question. Question number 1. This is Jamb question 2014 number 38. Under the general principle differentiation, how can you differentiate this? If y is 4x cubed minus 2x squared plus x, find dy over dx with respect to x. Okay, may we do one. Y equals to 4x cubed minus 2x squared plus x. Don't forget, this x the same thing as 1x. Okay, so we'll do one now. Dy over dx is equals to, for this one, you go use 3 times and you go comot 1. So 3 times 4 will give us what? 12. So you have 12x. Then you remove 1 from the power. If you remove 1 from 3, it becomes what? 2. Very easy. Now you have minus. Now let's do the same thing. This 2 times this 2, you will have 4. Then you remove 1 from here, you now have 4x raised to power 1. So you have 4x raised to the power of 1. Then plus the same thing. There is a 1 here, spiritual 1. Use and times this 1, you will get 1. If you now remove 1 from that 1, because whenever you times, you remove 1 from the number, it becomes 1 minus 1, 0. So you have 1x raised to the power of 0. So what do you have now? 12x squared. X raised to the power 1 is the same thing as x, so minus 4x plus x raised to the power 0 is 1. Don't forget, x raised to the power 0 is 1 times 1 gives you 1. So let's look for the answer. The answer is not A, it's not B. The answer is 12x squared minus 2x. No. The answer is this. Look at it. The answer is what? D. Let's take question number 2. Now let's take question number 2. This question is from UME, which is Jamb 2008 number 36. Find the derivative of y equals to what? X raised to power 7 minus x power 5 divided by x power 4. Okay? Now I guess you are doing it with respect to what? X. Here are the options. How do you solve this question? Very easy. Let's do it. Now, solution. Y equals to x raised to the power of 7 minus x raised to the power of 5 all over x raised to the power of 4. Let's do it quickly. Very easy. Now, I'm going to simplify this before I will differentiate it. If I have in mathematics A plus or minus B over C, the only way of simplifying this guy is to do it like this. Is to give you A over C, that's this over this, plus or minus B over C. That's how we simplify the word fraction, having minus here or plus. So let's simplify this. We have x raised to the power of 7 over x raised to the power of 4 minus x raised to the power of 5 over the same x to the power of 4. So we are using this to divide both of them. So y will give us, please, if I divide this, don't forget the laws of indices. I will pick one of the x, which is x, Then I will minus the power. 7 minus 4 will give us 3. Minus the pick one of the x here, which is x, minus the power 5 minus 4 will give us what? 1. So you must know that. So how do we differentiate now? dy over dx will give us, use 3 to times x, you have 3x. Then you remove 1 from the power, so you have 2. Use 1 to times x, so you have 1x. Remove 1 from this power of 1, so you have 0. So that will give us waiting 3x squared minus x to the power 0 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. This is the answer to the Jamb question. So it is not A, it is not B. The answer is what? C. Okay? We have 2 more questions before we call it a day. Okay? Let's do question number 3. Let's take this question number 3. Okay? This is PCE 1997 number 41. This is one of the exams that is organized by Jamb in those days. Okay? Now let's take this question. Find the derivative of y equals to 1 over x square root of x. Very easy. Look at it. Now, if your y is equals to 1 over x, then the square root of x. We are going to simplify this first. And how do we simplify it? Remember, the square root of any number in mass is the number raised to power 1 over 2. The cube root of any number in mass is the number raised to power 1 over 3. Remember the laws of indices. So let's do this. This will give us 1 over, here you have x raised to power 1, then you have times square root of x is x raised to the power of 1 over 2. So what do we do? This will give us 1 over, first of all, the laws of indices tells us that when we have 2 index number, we should pick just 1. Then we add the power together. The power here is 1 plus here is 1 over 2. There's a way we can cut this thing short. Because 1 plus half will give us 1 and half. So we have y equals to 1 over x raised to the power of 1 and half. This will give us 1 and a half. So furthermore, we have 1 over 1 and a half. We can convert it so that you have 2 times 1, 2 plus 1. So you have x raised to the power of 3 over 2. So finally, according to the laws of indices, if I carry this x go up, it will become x raised to the power of minus 3 over 2. This is what we want to differentiate. When the question becomes complex, it needs to be simplified before differentiation. So I want to differentiate that guy now. So dy over dx will give us, this is x raised to the power minus 3 over 2. I will take it to multiply this. You know the rule for differentiation. We use the number to multiply it. So we have minus 3 over 2 times this x. Then we remove 1 from this power. So we have minus 3 over 2 minus 1. To balance it, we have to do over 1 here. So this will give us minus 3 over 2x raised to the power of minus, let's take the LCM of 2 and 1 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. Minus 2 divided by 1 is 2. Times this one will give us 1. So we have minus 3 over 2x raised to the power. Minus 3 minus 1 is what? Oh, 2 divided by 1 is 2 times 1 will give us 2. So minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5 over 2. Wow. So finally, class, we have dy over dx will give us this. Watch this carefully. You have x raised to the power of minus 5 over 2. So if you remove this minus, this number will become the denominator. In indices, if I have a raised to the power of minus 1, it will become 1 over a raised to the power 1. So if the number comes down, the minus sign will disappear. So that if this minus, this x over minus 5 over 4 comes to this, where this 2 is, it will become minus 3 is there before, all over, watch this, 2x raised to the power of 5 over 2. So our final answer to this question is minus 3 all over 2x raised to the power of 5 over 2. So let's look at the option carefully. The answer is what? A. So let's take the last question for today's video lesson. Let's take our fourth question for today, okay? This question is also organized by Jamb. Jamb organizes two exams in those days called UTME and PCE. So in PCE 1995, number 39, here's the question. Differentiate 3x squared plus 2 over x with respect to x. How will you differentiate this? Very easy. Look at it. If we have y equals to 3x squared plus 2 over x. Now, I've told you before that whenever you have a complex problem, make sure you simplify before differentiating. Now, this x here is raised to the power of 1. If this x goes up, for instance, if I have a over x, is the same thing as ax raised to the power of minus 1. So if the x goes up, it will carry a negative sign. But when it comes down, the negative sign will disappear. So it means that in this question, I have y equals to 3x squared. Watch this. This will go up. You have plus 2x raised to the power of minus 1. So what I'm differentiating is y equals 3x squared plus 2x raised to the power of minus 1. Don't forget, we are still in general principle differentiation. So our dy over dx now will give us, use this to times this, you know how to differentiate. So you have 6x. The power here was 2. You remove 1, become 1. Plus, use minus 1 to times this, you have minus 2x. The power here was minus 1, so you remove 1 again. It now becomes minus 1 to give us minus 2. So here, 6x to the power 1 is the same thing as 6x. You get? Plus minus will give us minus. So x to the power of minus 2, if it comes down, it becomes 2 over x weighting squared. That becomes the word, the answer. So let's look at the option carefully. It is not A, it is not B. It ought to be C, but here you have plus, but here you have minus. So the answer is what? D. Finally, we have come to the end of today's video lesson. If today is your first time for coming across my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe to this channel. If you're a student preparing for Jamb exam, or you are preparing for Ssce exam, or other exam related to this, subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video.